Hello everybody, and welcome again to my channel. This time I wanted to talk about where are the Watchtower's treasure stored. And this video is being hosted by David Atlas, and as you can see, Tom here has his Macallan, and we know that Tom Bear likes his Macallan. Anyway, so where are the Watchtower's treasures stored? Well, interesting question. Has it ever occurred to you that the Watchtower is like a business? And for businesses, they have a good or a service that they're selling, and there's a cost that they have to spend to make that good or to provide that service. In business terms, it's called cost of goods sold. So if the Watchtower were a business, what exactly would the Watchtower's product be? Well, their product is kind of threefold. They present literature to people for them to read, they make movies for people to watch, and a third part, and actually the most important part of their product, is hope. In a lot of ways, when they knock on your door, what they're trying to do is sell you hope, their version of it. That's the main product. So what's the cost of goods sold for their products? Well, let's look at the literature. So you have paper, materials, ink. You have to buy those things. You have to pay to ship them. And then you have to go and turn them into literature. That involves equipment and labor. So the thing they don't have to pay for here is labor. And labor is one of the largest components oftentimes in production of goods. So the overhead of the facilities is also significant, but labor is significant as well. So next you have their movies. We all know movies cost a lot of money. You got to pay the actors, you got to pay a whole bunch of technicians and whatnot. So they're making more and more movies now, or more TV shows, if you will, or videos. They're not paying any labor costs for these things. So their third and most important product, hope. What's the COGS for this? It's just about zero. So this is their biggest product with an almost non-existent COGS. So they get all this labor, and not only labor, but also marketing. They get that for free as well. That's part of the cost. So if they're getting these things for free, where does that money come from? Who's paying for this? Well, so let's look at the labor. At Bethel, they paid people just about nothing, a small monthly stipend. So essentially those people are donating their time, their labor, and their resources. So labor is donated. Let's look at marketing. Let's talk, for example, about pioneers. Pioneers spend a lot of time going out and trying to spread the Watchtower message. They are effectively a big part of the marketing arm of Watchtower. So who pays for their time? Who pays for their car, for their gas, for their food, for their coffee breaks? Well, the pioneers pay for this out of their own pocket, of course. During that time, they're not working, they're not making income, but they are basically marketing for Watchtower. So imagine having a company where your COGS is exceedingly low and where your employees are paying their own salary. Sounds like a pretty good business model, doesn't it? Well, so this being the case, what's to say about Watchtower's products? Well, let's look at one in particular, the movies they make. They're becoming bigger and bigger into making movies, making videos of any sort. They're doing this more and more, saying that this is part of their teaching work. So the COGS of movies, they just built this big, beautiful building in Warwick. My understanding is they've transferred their movie studios there, and they basically have brand new studios. However, that being the case, for some reason at the annual meeting, they said that they need even bigger and better studios. And they have another property in New York they want to develop those studios on. Well, that's a fascinating thing. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? It brings to mind some scriptures. So we have this group that has a lot already as far as what they're trying to do, but they want something bigger and better. Well, in Luke chapter 12, verses 18 through 21, there's the illustration of the individual that keeps building bigger and bigger storehouses. And he obviously does this because he's increasing his wealth. And basically Jehovah tells him, look, this is demonstrating that your heart is not towards me, but is towards your material possessions. This is not going to work out for you. So in that particular instance, the person was not doing the right thing by building bigger and better storehouses. And also, too, it makes me think of Jeremiah chapter 45, verses 2 through 5 with Barak. This is an individual Jehovah specifically told. He said, look, stop getting better stuff for yourself. I'm about to destroy Jerusalem, and you're going to get away with your life. So don't bother wasting your time and money building these things. So what's the society doing? They're building bigger and better things to make their product, if you will. So I suppose the question you want to ask is, why do they keep building these bigger and better things when what they have is already quite impressive, especially since, according to their own teachings, the end of the system is literally any second now. So let's put this all into something that is makes sense, or something that's understandable. So we'll bring it back to the level of business. So imagine, for example, that you were going to go to a car dealership and purchase a brand new car. You go and you find the one that you like, you put the money down, you sign up, you buy the car, and the dealer says, great, here's your brochure that explains the car, and here's a great movie and a couple of videos that show you how great this car is, but you can't have the car yet. We'll let you know when you can. And your monthly payments start right now. So anyways, you're paying for that car, you've got the brochures, maybe they give you new movies and new brochures every so often. Every month you've got that payment, but you never get the car. And let's say that you decide, well, you know something, I've been doing this for years, I still don't have the car, I've got lots of brochures that basically say the same thing different ways, I've got movies that basically say the same thing different ways, I'm going to stop my payments now. So you stop your payments to that car company. And what do? They take away all of your friends and family. Pretty powerful incentive to keep paying the bill, isn't it? So now we go back to what's the Watchtower's central product. It is hope. Their hope is just exactly like that car. So ask yourself the question, where are Watchtower's treasures stored?